G'day everyone, welcome to the video. It's been over 2 weeks since I did any laundry in the bus and the washing is piling up. It's time that I tackled it. We are currently staying at the showgrounds here in Uralla, so I've got access to power and water and it's the perfect opportunity to get the laundry done. So I thought while I was doing that today, I would bring you guys along and show you how I do my laundry on the road. So as you can see, I've got a ton of laundry to do here. I've got like 2 weeks worth just about of clothes, and I've also got a stack of long sleeve shirts, the new ones that I bought when I was in Tamworth last week. I want to wash all of those. And I also need to wash my towels and tea towels. As well as that, I've got some stuff of Pepper's, her bedding cover and the sheet that I had on her bed while she had the bone last week. All of that needs washing. And while we're here, I should probably wash my bed linen as well. So I've got a ton of washing to do here. So we better get started. When I was designing this bus, having my own washing machine was pretty high on my priority list for a number of reasons. The biggest one was cost. Anyone that's had to rely long term on public laundromats knows that they can be quite expensive and the cost of using them every week soon adds up. So having my own washing machine means that I'm not paying that cost to use the machines in the laundromats, and over a long period of time, I mean we are full time on the road, that saving really does add up. And also, if you've used public laundromats a lot, you will know that they're not always that clean. Some of the machines actually can be quite manky, and I just don't like the idea of putting my washing in a machine that you don't know what someone else has put in there. It's just nice to have my own machine that I know is totally clean. And the other reason I wanted my own machine was that obviously I have a dog. I'm traveling with Pepper, and so she has bedding and other things that need washing from time to time. And a lot of laundromats don't allow you to wash pet items. So that makes it hard if I need to wash her stuff on the road. So having my own machine means that I can wash her stuff whenever I like, and that's not an issue. So I ended up installing a little caravan washing machine in my bus, and the one I have is a Sphere brand, and it works really well. I'm super happy with it. It runs on 240 volts, so you do need to either be connected to shore power or have an inverter set up in your electrical system. It doesn't use a ton of power, so it's not an issue for me. I can easily run it off grid and not worry about draining my batteries at all. The only downside to the machine really is that it does use quite a bit of water. On the high water level setting, it takes about 20 litres to fill the tub. So if you were to do a full load of washing with a wash cycle, and I think it does 2 rinse cycles, you could potentially use up to 60 litres of water for every load, which is a lot. Now, being a top loader, you can manage that a little bit. And the way that the machine is set up means that you can wash a load of clothing, for instance, and then instead of the water automatically draining, you can set it to just do the wash and then take those clothes out and put another load of clothes in and reuse the same water. You can also pause it during the rinsing cycle so it only rinses once and not twice, all those sorts of things. And of course you can do washing on like a low and a medium water level setting as well. So there are ways to manage the water consumption. And although it looks pretty small in there and doesn't look like you'd be able to fit much, it's actually surprising how much you can actually fit in one load. This machine is actually big enough to wash my double bed size doona cover in as well, so I can do that. And I can also do a set of double bed sheets and pillowcases in there, no problem. So it's pretty good. It fits a lot more than you think it would. And when I hooked up the plumbing to the machine, I did it in such a way that I can either run the water to the machine directly from the water tanks in the bus with my internal pump, or I can connect it to an outside tap. If I'm parked up at a caravan park or a showgrounds like we are here, I can connect the line to a tap and run the water directly into the machine that way and not have to use any of the internal water supply of the bus. And that's the way I usually prefer to do it. Okay, so hopefully you'll be able to see this on the camera, just under the back of the bus here. So this is the line that goes up into my washing machine. And as you can see, I've got 2 lines running into that. This one here with the tap on it actually comes from the pump inside the bus. So if I want to, I can run the washing machine directly from the water tanks in the bus just by turning on that tap and the pump will pump the water up into the washing machine. What I tend to do is use the washing machine mainly when I can hook it directly up to a tap, and that's this line here. So you can see I've got a non-return valve here, so that means when this tap's open and I'm using the water from the pump inside, it's not coming back out this line. It can't go any further than here. So, and on this line here, I've got connected to just an ordinary hose connection that I can clip a hose onto. And then this way I can hook that directly to a tap like I am here in the showgrounds, and run the water to the washing machine directly into there. And it'll come up here, and because this tap is off, it's not going to go back up into where the pump is. It'll go straight up into the machine. The other option I have is that being a top loader, it means that I can actually fill the washing machine with a bucket. So if I'm totally off grid and I need to do some washing, but I don't want to use the water in the bus tanks, if I'm parked up beside a creek or another water supply that looks clean enough to wash clothes, I can just bucket the water from the creek into the machine, and that gives me another option as well. Also, you can see here I've got the outlet for the washing machine. I actually deliberately didn't run that into my grey tank, which is on the other side of the bus, just because I don't have a very big grey tank, and even on a low setting on this machine, it would almost fill my grey tank with 1 or 2 loads. So I actually prefer to run the water from the washing machine out onto the ground, and the showgrounds here are happy for me to run the grey water onto the grass, so that's what we're going to do. And I can just hook up my grey water hose, just hook my grey hose up to that and run it out onto the grass there. So I just have a power point inside the cupboard here, plug the machine in when I'm ready to use it. So as you can see, it has 3 different water level settings: low, medium and high. And it has wash, rinse and spin. Or the other good thing about this machine is that it's possible to just have a spin cycle only with no rinsing or anything. And that's good if you've got some hand washing. If you just want to wash a few small items by hand and then you need to spin them to dry them out, you can just put them in on this setting and it gives it a really good spin. I think for today we're going to do the full wash, rinse and spin cycles, and you can see that it's going to take about 38 minutes to do that. And because we've got a lot to do, we'll be filling it up for each load, so I think we'll go on the high water setting as well. It's a bit awkward to film in this space, but what I normally do is put the detergent in first. And that way when the machine starts to fill up, it kind of helps to dissolve the detergent a bit before I put the clothes in. And before people in the comments start ribbing me for not using an eco-friendly detergent, I don't actually have cold power detergent in this bottle. What I actually use is this stuff, the Earth Choice eco-friendly stuff, and I use them to refill this. I just keep this bottle because it's got a really awesome lid and a nozzle that you can pour out of easily, and it doesn't like drip everywhere when you're pouring it. So that's the only reason I hang on to this bottle, but I refill it with the Earth Choice. So it's important when you're off grid, or even like if you're in a caravan park or a showgrounds like we are, where you can drain your grey water onto the ground, that you're using eco-friendly detergents and you're not like flooding the ground with chemicals. So that's just something to keep in mind as well. We'll turn this on. Machine will start filling up. And I'll just let it put a little bit of water in to dissolve that detergent, and then I'll put my clothes in. Okay, so I've got 4 pairs of trousers and a pair of flannelette pajama pants in there. It's started washing now. You can see here, using between 130 and 230 watts. Now I've also got a 240 volt fridge running at the moment, and I've also got my Starlink plugged in. So you can see that the washing machine on just the normal wash cycle is not using very much power at all. Its machine's on its final spin cycle now. And if we come up here, still only using a bit over 300 watts. And again, that includes my fridge and the Starlink. So you can see it really doesn't use a lot of power. And the other good thing about having my own washing machine in the bus is that I don't have to wait around a laundromat for the washing to finish. I can just stay in the bus, get on with my work, and the washing machine will let me know when it's finished. So for my clothesline, I just use these ratchet rope ties. These ones here I bought from Tent World. I think they were $20 for a pair. Bunnings also sells them, but the ones that Bunnings have are a little bit thinner rope and not quite as long. So I actually prefer the ones from Tent World. And these are great because I can just hook them around the bolts on my roof rack bracket, so they work really well, and also to the rings on my awning and strap it under the awning. If I didn't want to be bothered putting the awning out and I was parked near a tree, or in this case, you can see behind me I'm parked near a fence, I could even just run one of these from the bus over to the fence or a tree or whatever. Super easy and pretty lightweight. I carry 4 of these and they weigh hardly anything, but that gives me a decent amount of clothesline space. Sunny day like we have today, these will be dry in no time. And Pepper's dog fence makes an excellent laundry hanging space as well. So that's it, guys. That's how I do my laundry on the road. If you've got any questions, just leave a comment below and I'll do my best to answer them. And now I better get cracking and finish the rest of this laundry.